But we are excited to have you all join us this morning for maximizing your WBE certification. And so my name is Dr. Kitiana Lowe. I go by Dr. K, and I'm the Director of Programs and Events here at WBEC ORV. And before we jump in and get started, I always like to take a moment to introduce our team to all of our WBEs. So I'll start with our interim president and CEO, who is Chuck Hendricks. Our COO is Dr. Frederica Singletary. Our fractional CFO is Jackie Jordan. And our Senior Director of Marketing, Communications, and Engagement is Courtney Martin. And then as WBEs, you should all be very familiar with our certification team led by our certification director, Colleen Rudisil, and our certification manager, Robbie Moore. And then our corporate engagement manager, she works on our corporate side, is Devin Davis. And then our administrative assistant is Morgan McDonald. And so we are a mighty and ever-growing lean team who work diligently to do all things for you all in regards to your certification, programs, events, and truly helping you to maximize the certification that you have with us. And so today I would like to introduce our presenter and facilitator for today, who is Kathy Lindeman, and she is the president of Evolution Creative Solutions. Kathy, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Kathy Lindeman. As she said, with Evolution Creative Solutions, we are a commercial printer, apparel decorator, and promotional products distributor. So we have 14,000 square feet in Cincinnati, Ohio, where we create most of the marketing material all ourselves. We like small businesses to feel big and big businesses to feel like they're the only one. So going on to what we're going to talk about today. And Dr. K will monitor the chats if you have any questions so that you can jump in and ask questions on the chat, and Dr. K will let me know. But we're just going to go through and talk about just the foundational knowledge, the organizational background, the value proposition of why it's important that you have your certification, give you a little bit of rundown of how supplier diversity works inside corporations, and then how you can maximize your certification, how you can use it as a seal on your brand or in your product, and how you can get engaged, which I think is the best way to get business if you want business. So looking at foundational knowledge, one of the things that's important is if you're certified, you are certified across the country. So even though you're certified across the country, we still have an organization here that Dr. K was talking about, WBEC ORV. It covers our 3 states, Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia. But we're only one of 14. And so you'll notice that the United States has all different kinds of colors on it. Each one of those are a regional partner organization. So each one of them has a team of Dr. K's that helps them promote their WBEs and helps them raise us up. So there's 20,000 of you. So there you go. So about WBEC ORV, as I said, it covers Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia. And it provides, its number one thing is to certify you that you are woman-owned. But on top of that, it was established in 2009, and we have 1,100 certified WBEs. And when I got certified, they had 200. So we are growing, and we have 100 corporate members, which means you have the opportunity to network with them multiple times. And so then in the core platform for WBEC ORV, get it, core, it's certification. So they definitely, their number one responsibility is to make sure that people are really women-owned. They have opportunities where you can do events, you can do networking, you can get in front of supplier diversity. They have resources that will help you grow, so don't miss out on that. And then the big one for me, just because I don't like being alone at the top, is engagement. And so they have lots of different ways for us to get engaged and to have healthy relationships with other people, and a rewards program so that you're always being acknowledged for the work you're doing. So the value proposition, there's a couple different ones. So Dr. K and I were discussing number one, the federal mandate. The federal mandate does have a 5% goods and services for men for women and minority owned. We were actually discussing if that was still true or not, and neither one of us could Google it and find it. But corporations have not stepped away from supplier diversity programs. They may have a different name for it. There's some different names that are floating around because they don't want to be called out in social media or in the news as having a supplier diversity program, but they have not stopped supporting women-owned and minority-owned businesses. And the business model for corporations, it still makes up 80% of the consumer and 20% are influenced. So they want to make sure that they're supporting women because they know that women are driving the economy. And so even though there are things going on with the federal government, they have not stopped supporting. And so if you're new and you don't understand the supplier diversity advantage, corporations will have a team member or a team group that will actually be your advocate. And so they will make introductions for you. They will carve off and track how much spend is going on. For instance, we do work for Messer Construction. They track all of the spend that is done through me because they want to make sure that they're elevating women in construction. And so these supplier diversity professionals are actually your advocate. And the number of corporations will grow as the number of WBEs grow. So if you know anybody that is also women-owned, ask them to come and join the sisterhood. And as I said, the supplier diversity professional, the one that is the team member, they are to be an advocate. And so they're the person that you can go to and ask questions. So I wanted to get into Fifth Third, and I didn't go to the person that buys print. I went to the supplier diversity person and said, hey, how do I get into your vendor registration process? How do I get the buyer contacts? What's the timeline for purchasing? I started asking this advocate all of the relevant information instead of just banging my head on who supplies print for Fifth Third. And so they will be your advocate. I always say they're salmon swimming upstream because they do not make the sourcing decisions. They just are your champion. And so they're just always out there saying, hey, I've got this woman-owned business. Why don't you include them in the RFP? But they do not make the sourcing things, but they can help you get registered. They can help you create a relationship with who will. And then you always want to be pleasantly persistent. The best advice I ever got was from Andy Butler at P&G. And he said, don't try to sell yourself, try to be a thought leader and send him information that is valuable that he can share with the team. And then you want to stay away from just thinking that it's what's in it for me. I will say that it takes a while because they really need to get to know you. So with your certification, you can maximize it best by being engaged, and then the professional will help you. So let's talk about how to maximize your certification. So the benefits. First off, you have access to supplier diversity and the procurement executives all across the country. Remember, it does not need to be inside our RPO. You can have access to all the supplier diversities across the country. You can get formal and informal opportunities to pursue business with corporates and governments. And WBEs, don't forget that there are lots of WBEs that are multiple $1-million companies and they love to support their fellow WBEs. You have lots of access to networking events, programs, procurement, mentoring. There's just lots of opportunities so that you're not alone. And then you're eligible for regional and national award recognition. I've won Supplier of the Year twice, I'm humbled to say. And then use of women-owned logos. People will talk about this more, but there are people that will go into a grocery store and check to see if a product has the woman-owned logo on it, and they will buy it if it has that. So if they have two products to choose from and one is woman-owned, they will intentionally buy the one with the woman-owned. And then there is a community of support for other female business owners that are just like you. Hopefully it's not lonely at the top. It is for me, but if you're feeling lonely, it's a great place to be a part. And then, as I talked about, there's two different seals. So the one on the left, the WBE seal, that is what you use in your marketing materials, in your email signature, on your website. So this is best for all of your marketing, your proposals, anything that is used to promote your business. The woman-owned logo on the right is what you put on a product that you produce that is going to be consumer-facing. So any kind of consumer good. So again, think at the grocery store, at a salon. If you're producing a product, then you want to use that woman-owned logo on your products. And then here is the one that if you are really data-driven and you want to know who all the leads are, WeBank Link 2.0 is the best place. It holds all of the information of everyone that is associated with the organization. So you can identify what corporates are involved. So you could be like, okay, I want to do work in this particular field. So for me, I wanted to do work in construction. I went out, I found out which corporates in construction actually support Wheaties. That's how I started targeting Turner and Messer. I knew they were members, so I was like, hey, let's go after them because I know that they're going to respect me as a woman-owned business and support me and raise me up. So not only can you find a corporate, you also can find out who that advocate is, the supplier diversity contact. And then you'll know that very first introduction will be warm. And then you can also identify Wheaties across the country for partnerships. The biggest mantra from corporates is partner together. Come together as two Wheaties so that you're big enough to handle a corporate if you feel like you're too small for a bid. And then you want to make sure that your WeBank Link 2.0 is as complete as possible because corporates can do the exact flip. They can go out and search you. Other Wheaties can go out and search you. So you want to make sure that the profile is complete so that people can find you. There is a woman-owned business in Dayton, 100% of their spend is with other WBEs. They will not use something that's not a WBE. So anything that they need, they go out and search WeBank Link 2.0. If the company's in Colorado, that's okay with them as long as it's supplying their needs from a woman-owned business. And so you can update that profile each year during recertification. And so while you're looking at WeBank Link 2.0, you can download the corporate contacts. So if you have a good marketing funnel, you can download all of your corporate contacts, add them into your marketing funnel. You can check the RPO websites for regional corporate members. So if you're in Ohio, Kentucky, or West Virginia, and you work regionally, not across the nation, you can see who has a footprint here. Just like Fifth Third, I went after them intentionally because they have a footprint here. I don't have sales staff across the country, so I wanted somebody that had a footprint here. You can build your prospecting list, and then you can complete the targeted company's vendor and supplier profile. So since you're new, you may have not done this before, but almost every company has on their website a registration portal. They want you to go in and fill out their registration portal so they don't have to go find you at WeBank Link 2.0. They want you to go to their website while you're doing research on them and complete their portal. And another big request of them is to find out if they have a tier 2 program. And so in case you're not familiar, if you supply directly to the customer or to the company, it is tier 1. If you supply the people that supply them, it is tier 2. So for Macy's, Kroger's, Target, I'm too small to supply print, but printers that supply print to them, are often too big to handle what I do. And so they outsource it to me. So I actually do work for Macy's, Kroger's, and Target. They have no idea who I am. They just hold their vendors responsible for supporting women as well. And so I do work as a tier 2 program. It's a great opportunity if you are a smaller organization. And then also, as I said before, consider doing work with other WBEs. The organization is 20,000 people wide. So most certainly there is someone in the organization that needs your product and service. And then make sure that you're not just always saying, hey, what can I do? Make sure that you're participating so they know your name, your face, so that when somebody reaches out, because I know Dr. K and them will say, hey, so-and-so reached out, they needed a printer. I thought of you. And I think they think of me because I'm constantly participating in different events.
Mm.
And then do your homework. I always find this amazing. People don't know like who Kellogg is. And the lady will walk up, they'll walk up to the Kellogg table and be like, well, what do you do? Well, they're Kellogg. They're one of the largest manufacturers of food across the world. So you want to make sure that you do your homework, know what they provide, go out and actually find out how much supplier diversity staff do they have, find out how to register for their process, find out what their goals are, and do they hold supplier diversity events. So you want to go out and do your homework, figure out what all you can, figure out what all the company's cultures and values, figure out as much as you can from the website, from Google, from ChatGPT. And then once you've done all of that, go ahead, Dr. K. Then you can start asking questions because you've figured out as much as you can by yourself. But then this is where your supplier diversity personnel will help. You can start asking them, what's the procurement process? Is it centralized or is it decentralized? Like when I went to Fifth Third and I asked them, they were like, it's an 18-month onboarding process. So if we decide to use you, it's 18 months before we will send any job your way. So I at least knew that I was going to have this long ramp. But it was nice to know that it was going to be a long ramp because then I wasn't frustrated. I knew the process was just taking the time that it normally does. So you just want to ask the basis of decisions for your product or service. Like with Fifth Third, when I met with them, they were like, we are price driven until we know that it's not price driven. And so lots of their print is price driven. They, however, have found out that we are incredible at fulfilling and kitting projects for them. And so now no longer is cost their priority. The fact that we do it well, we're timely, we communicate, all of those things have overridden the cost priority. So you want to know what the decision is being based on. You can also, at this point in time, start asking, hey, can you introduce me to the buyer that's actually going to do your commodity? And then you can ask if there are any upcoming bid opportunities. Corporations are a long time, so it may be 3 years, and they may have just given it away. Instead of being defeated, it's an opportunity to be like, okay, I have 3 years to learn as much as I can about that bid, so that when it comes around the next time, you know how long is it going to be, what all do they really need, what's included, what's not included. You can figure out your competitive advantage so that when it comes up the next time, you know everything they have now. How can I do it better? And then you always want to ask if there are any tier 2 opportunities, because the corporates really have a very big push on making sure that their vendors use women-owned businesses. They know that lots of times they're too big, and so they are trying to force their smaller vendors to use them. And then as you did your certification, you did have the option to get WBE, the Women-Owned Small Business Program, through the federal contracting. And so you can do that through your certification when you do it, or you can get it through the SBA. the big thing for this is you have to get your UEI from sam.gov. And then you want to make sure that you participate in your regional partner organization. As you can see in the picture, there are lots of us all celebrating together. So our next big event that we host once a year is the Catch the Wave Regional Conference. We have 500 plus attendees. That includes corporations and WBEs. So there's lots of time to connect with both. There's lots of networking focus groups. There's lots of workshops, and they have a Meet the Buyer event. So if you do your homework and you know what corporates are going to be there, what governments are going to be there, you actually can get some time in front of that person to present. And then they have the business pitch breakfast, which I'm going to throw in, there's still time. The deadline is July the 17th, I think. Dr. K, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's July the 17th. You submit a 60-second pitch. It gets reviewed, and if you are one of the top 8, you get to present in front of everyone in the conference. So it's a great opportunity. And if you win at that, I think you win $1,000 and you win a trip to nationals. And there will be award recognition at the Catch the Wave. So lots of great opportunities to network and to see what is possible if you have goals that align with being in front of a lot of people and having awards. And if going to a big conference is not your thing, or if it doesn't fit, I think in the chat, Dr. K just dropped in the information. Thanks, Dr. K. If going to a great big huge conference, or if there's a conflict, we always have things going on that are smaller. So we have WBE Connects. The WBE Connects happen in various cities. So next week in Lexington, there is a 2-hour connect where everyone from the RPO is invited to come to Lexington and connect. There's been one in Cincinnati. There's one in Dayton. And so there are various WBE Connects that are small. They generally are limited to 50 people so that everyone can connect. And then they have their Bold and Brilliant event where they all get together most of the time in Columbus. I've missed it both years because it always fits right on top of my vacation with my grandkids. And so it is a smaller conference that is a one-day conference that allows you to come and connect. Then we have Doing Business with Corporates. So you can watch and see what corporates are new. They generally will do an introductory webinar so that you can get to know them. We do industry-specific events. So if you're in a professional service, if you're in marketing, if you're in construction, we will have industry-specific events. And then we will have supplier diversity events across the region. So it may be that P&G has an event. And then there's always professional and business developments. If this is your first maximizing your certification, the next thing you'll want to do is your onboarding webinar, which happens monthly. They'll have Catch the Wave conference prep webinars. They'll have WeBank Link 2.0 webinars, which are super helpful because for me, WeBank Link 2.0 is not super easy to use. So every once in a while I get back in and I'm like, okay, what updates have been made? And I'll listen to that webinar. And there are always professional and business development ones. Lots of opportunities to learn. And yes, they always want you to have the opportunity to sponsor. If you want your name out in front of a particular corporate or a particular WBE, being a sponsor is a great way to have your logo up front and center throughout the entire event. And then, as I said, it is all across the country. So you want to make sure that you get involved in the national engagement. Dr. K and I were just in New Orleans with 10,000 people attending the national conference. And so you just missed it, but you can mark it because next year it'll be in July in one of my favorite states, Salt Lake City. So there are 350 exhibitors. So you as a WBE can have an exhibit so that corporates can find you, and corporates will have exhibits as well so that you can get to know their supplier diversity team. And there's lots of national networking. And then we have the WeBank Forum. Oh, I gotta take a breath. It's so much. Forum is open to all Weebies. So once you are certified, you are welcome to attend things with the forum. And then you can take leadership opportunities and appointments to the forum leadership. And this allows you to have more face time with bigger companies. They also do the Weeby to Weeby connections. They run the learning opportunities, and they have collaboration and partnering. So if you happen to go to Catch the Wave, you'll see that we have a forum breakfast where we bring everyone together and help them network. Because sometimes networking can be scary.
Kathy,
And so now I'm going to turn it over to Dr. K.
So I think that's the last slide. Before we wrap these things up, I do want to take a moment and pause and ask if you all have any questions. We actually have a good amount of time left, Kathy, if we actually want to go through and allow the participants to do some quick introductions as well. So let's do that first. Let's do introductions first. And then after we complete the introductions, we'll go through and see if anyone has any questions. So I will start in the order that's on my screen. And so I've got Catherine first.
Okay. Hi, my name is Catherine. The company that I have, it's a data analytics company, and we just have one employee right now, and we just do data analytics, human user interface, and we've been working on artificial intelligence now, since that's kind of the future right now.
Yes. Well, welcome. And next is Gina.
Hi, I'm Gina Espinosa Meltzer. I'm in Atlanta. I lead a public relations communications marketing agency. We do it both in Spanish and English. And I don't know what else to say, but nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you as well. So Gina, I think with your being in the Atlanta area, if you think back to that, it's like the first or second slide that we had up, and Kathy talks about all the different RPOs. So are you connected with the RPO in your area? GWAC, I believe, is their initials.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I just got the certification, so I'm newbie.
Awesome. Well, welcome.
I'm
yes.
learning.
You're already using the whole country. I love it.
Yes,
Because
exactly.
people are always like, oh, I'm in this RPO. I'm like, no. If somebody in California is having an event, go enjoy
Exactly.
it.
Let me tell you, I have many friends who are certified, and they went to New Orleans, and I was so jealous because I saw in their Facebook how much fun that was.
Yes, it was such a really good time.
I wish I could go to Salt Lake City because I've never been to. Or is it Utah? Yeah, right. I only have seen from the airport on a connection flight the beautiful mountains, but I wish.
Yes, next year is going to be in Salt Lake City. I do not have, so every year they give like a luggage tag that has the information for the upcoming year, and mine's upstairs, so I don't have the dates.
The 13th, 15th, it's somewhere in the middle of June.
Somewhere in the middle of June.
I thought it was going to be in August. I misunderstood that.
Yeah, that will be the conference for next year. So it's going to be really good.
In that case, I'm going.
Yes, make sure you're there. Exactly. Lisa White.
Hi, my name is Lisa. I run a company. I actually run two companies. I'm a psychotherapist, and I also have a business that helps people align their mission with their hiring practices and organizational culture. So those are the two things I do. I'm based in New York. So we just came because I said, let me come on. I need to get it going because I'll just have a certification and just sit there. So I want to be in it. And so that's why I'm here. So I'm excited. I missed the
Oh,
conference, but I met people who were going at another conference. So I'm
Well,
excited.
definitely. We're excited to have you. Definitely get plugged in. I'm looking at the Nationals website so I can see where you are. I think you are Metro, WeBank Metro New York is your RPO. I'll drop their link into the chat for you there as well.
Thank you so much.
Or maybe I won't because the link just said it's not active. So I'll see what I can find. I'll see while we'll keep talking if I can
Thank
find it,
you.
and I'll drop it into the chat. But welcome, welcome, welcome. Next is Holly.
Hi, I am actually here in support of Gina. I'm a member of her team, and I
Okay.
work with a lot of the new business side of things for Hope Beckham Espinoza.
And
So
she's in Dallas.
I'm in Dallas.
Welcome, welcome.
Even though my work is mostly in Atlanta.
Well, I totally understand. All my work is mostly in Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia, as we've just talked about. However, I am domiciled in the Carolinas, so totally understand. One thing I will also add is that oftentimes I've seen both our corporates as well as some WBEs, because of the fact that your certification is across the entire United States. So I've seen folks who have gotten involved in their local RPOs. So Holly, you could get involved in the RPO in your area, even though Gina is in another area. You can definitely be able to do that.
Oh, wonderful. Because we have another team member in Tampa.
Okay,
oh,
perfect.
Mhm.
And next is it Elsa?
Hello, good morning. I'm sorry for being late.
No worries.
My name is Elsa Rivero. I'm in Houston. I am the owner of ER Services. It is a company specialized in remodeling, painting, and post-construction cleaning. I work in the construction market for over 10 years, and I decided one day to start my own company based on the problem issues that I thought that I saw in the market. And I just received my certification, and I would like to maximize the benefit of having this certification.
Wonderful. Well,
that's
welcome.
awesome.
Not a problem at
Thank you.
all that you were late. I did mention in the beginning, the call is recorded. And so within the next couple of days, today's Thursday, so probably the beginning part of next week, you all will receive an email with a link to the recording as well as the link to the deck. So you're always able to go back and reference the information. And then you mentioned you were in Houston. So I'm going to locate the RPO that's in the Houston area as well. And I'll drop that information in the chat so you can get connected with them as well.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
That'll be Holly
Sure.
and Elsa.
Yes, exactly, exactly. And next is Keisha.
Hi, good morning. My name is Keisha. I am a psychotherapist and founder of the Optimistic Counseling Practice. It's a Texas-based virtual therapy practice that helps professional women who may have been made to feel like they don't belong, for example, in like male-dominated industries, to take up more space at work by overcoming workplace imposter syndrome. I just recently received my certification maybe a couple months ago, and this is my first meeting of any kind that I'm attending. So I'm happy to be here and happy for the opportunities that this certification will bring my business, and excited to connect with the other business owners on the call and in this organization. So thank you.
Well, welcome. Seems like Houston is the whole Texas area is all giving us all the ORV love. So excited to have you all here.
I
So
love
I will
that.
tell you for the folks who are in Texas, so Texas is broken out because y'all are so large. Um, and it's broken out into a couple of different RPOs. There is the Southwest Council, which I am dropping into the chat right now. And they have North and Central Texas. And then let me also drop in WBEA, which is Southern Texas, I believe, is what this one said. I'm not familiar with the layout of the state very well, so I'm going to put them both in there because you could attend them all if you wanted to. So want to drop that in there as well. Go ahead, Kathy. I'm sorry.
Is there anybody in Texas that thinks it's odd? It's called Southwest, but it covers North and Central. I'm like, there's something wrong there. It's not the right name. Doesn't align in my brain. Even
Never
though
thought
you're
about
in
that,
all
but
of
you're
those
right.
other RPOs, you're still welcome to attend anything in our RPO. So you can attend
Yes.
Catch the Wave. And if you connect with your RPO, you can attend those conferences. So we're fairly close to Indiana, which is a different RPO, but I attend their yearly conference as well. So I'm always on their attendance list for their conference, just because it gives me a larger exposure in my region.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah. And then a lot of the business development things that we do are virtual. And so as Kathy has mentioned, you all are always welcome to sign up for those and register for those as you've done today, right? By registering for this, even though we're not located in your area. So we
I have
love
a
to have
question.
folks come and join us. Yes, go ahead.
So you just mentioned that we can go to conference in our RPOs. I'm not familiar with this, so can you explain a little bit more? So we go to the web page, we find a conference, and we register the seat, or
So
how
I think
it
I
does
think it's
work?
going to depend upon how each RPO, which is a regional partner organization, each one does things a little bit differently. What I would recommend is that you go to the website of your RPO and you find out how to get involved with them. So if they have an upcoming event, whether it's virtual, whether it's in person, and sign up for their newsletters and things like that, and get plugged in at your RPO level. To the piece that Kathy was talking about, yes, you are able to attend anything throughout any of the RPOs, but they may have different stipulations. I think there's some RPOs that in order to be able to access some of the things, they may have a small cost or something like that. It just really
Okay.
depends. But all of that information you probably be able to find on their website, or from there get connected to their programs and events person, who will be able to better connect you with like how to go about getting registered. I'm sure they probably all have a calendar where you can, click the different links and register for the different events that way.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Sure.
So if I'm not mistaken, Dr. K, the onboarding webinar and the maximizing your certification is required by national. And so this webinar will actually occur in each RPO. And
Mhm.
so if you attend the onboarding webinar that happens monthly, or the maximizing your certification that happens quarterly with your RPO, you'll see very similar, except where we're talking about Catch the Wave, they'll be talking about their programming. And so that may be a good way for you to learn what all is specific to your RPO.
Very true. Any other questions? That was actually really good. I'm glad we took a moment to do that. So who is here? Now I'm going back in my mind. Is anybody here from Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia? I think we just have, is it just Catherine?
I was going to say Catherine is.
I'm from Michigan.
Oh,
Oh,
goodness gracious, you didn't even tell us that part.
Yeah, I'm from Michigan.
Okay. Well, let
that's
me
awesome.
pull. Are you already connected with the RPO on that area? Do you want me to drop that information in the chat for you as well?
If you can drop it,
Sure.
that'd be
Give
great.
me
Thanks.
1 second to get that pulled up here. Oops, wrong button.
Can't wait to brag to our marketing team that they did such a good job with people from all over the country.
I know, right?
That's super exciting that our marketing is reaching across the country, because Dr. K is in charge of programming, and she does a great job of having webinars that are outstanding. So you'll want to continue to follow ours. No one talks as fast as me. The people from the South probably appreciate that, because, well, you can tell this accent, it's not North. So I just talk really quick, like a good Southern girl.
Actually, you talk quick, which is more northern than it is southern.
Oh,
Because
well,
whenever I speak down here, people immediately say, "You're from up north, aren't you?" Because I talk fast. So I
oh.
appreciate it.
I have that good drawl, a good Southern
You
drawl.
do, but that's because you're in I was about to say Kentucky. You're in Cincinnati, which is basically like being in the South of Ohio. So
It's a Kentucky accent. I'm a good
there you
Southern
go.
girl.
There you
I
go.
still haven't lived in Ohio. Well, 2 years I lived in Ohio. Then I quickly skipped to Kentucky.
That's true. That's true. We're going to wrap a couple of things up. I'm going to talk about some of the upcoming events that we have. But before we do that, I want to take a quick moment and share my screen and ask you all to take a moment and fill out our brief survey in regards to our webinar that we have today. If you are not on your phone and able to take out your phone and scan this QR code, it should take you directly to our survey link. If you are on your phone watching this or are unable to scan that survey, then when that email comes out that has the recording and the presentation and things like that that I talked about before, it will also have a link to the survey. So you only have to fill it out. You don't have to. We only ask you to fill it out one time. So you can either fill it out now or you can fill it out when you get it via email. And while you're doing that, I know all of you are kind of spread out throughout the country, but I just want to share some of the things that we are doing here at ORV. Kathy spoke about the WB Connects that we have, and it's a really great opportunity for our certified and non-certified WBEs to get a chance to meet. So we've got one coming up in Lexington next week. For our new WBEs, newly certified onboarding is coming up on July 17th, excuse me. That's going to be a virtual session. We also are having a virtual town hall for our RPO on July 23rd. And then we are doing a webinar on August 5th, an informational webinar about the Goldman Sachs program for that organization. And so that's August 5th. And then we also offer a Woman of Color, Why Should I Get Certified? So we have a Woman of Color committee, and so they have some programming that they do as well. Bold and Brilliant is one of the conferences or signature events that Kathy was talking about earlier. We also have a Woman of Color, Why Should I Get Certified? And so it's an opportunity for women of color who are not certified to come and learn about the WeBank organization and how they can get connected and plugged in with ORV. And then, as we have mentioned a couple of times, our signature event is August the 25th through the 27th in Cleveland, Ohio. If you all want to take a trip out, you're welcome to join us. If you do, please definitely stop me and let me know, like, hey, I was that person from that, from that call, and let me know that you stopped by. But it's a really great conference. Everyone does their conferences differently, but we have a really great signature style and signature event that we do each year. We rotate our locations throughout the RPO. So last year we were in Cincinnati. The year before that was in Columbus, and this year we're going to be in the Cleveland area.
I just want to add, Dr. K, on the last slide, you had the Goldman Sachs program. That is a national. That's a national program. One of their very first locations was in Houston. It is a free 13-week program to help you grow your business. I'll repeat it, it's free. So August the 5th, if you want to attend that webinar, it'll be hosted by Cincinnati State here in Ohio, but the program is nationwide. So you can apply for it to be in any kind of city. Okay, go ahead. I just wanted to point out that it was nationwide.
No, I'm glad you brought that up. Definitely. That was actually my last slide. So, do any of you have any additional questions at all? All right. Okay. Thank you everybody for joining. Enjoy the rest of your day, and welcome to, I was about to say the WeBank or welcome to WeBank.